Hello, everybody. Rachelle Jones, Lunch and Live 11:45. There we go. I couldn't get the lighting to switch over. We don't need to see me glowing. Oh, my goodness. Happy Friday to you. Or maybe it's not feeling like a happy Friday. Nicole, hello, my love. It is only 11:40. I decided I'm going to start a smidge early since I record this and put it on to, what do I put it on? YouTube. Eventually this is available on YouTube. So if you find something that's beneficial or helpful to you, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, forward it to your friends. That's very, very helpful to spread the word with good, correct, true, helpful information. So now my first thought is, everybody pop a thumbs up on there if you like to be agreed with, if you like to be in company where everyone's on the same playing field, everyone has the same mindset, everyone, we could all agree with one another in the group. That is awesome. So you can put a thumbs up on that. How about put a heart up if you like to feel happy? If you like to feel happy, put a heart up there. By the way, all of those comments and thumbs up and hearts, those don't record and they don't get posted to Instagram, YouTube. They don't get posted, so you know that that's always safe. Hi there, thanks for joining. So, thumbs up if you like to be agreed with, and a heart if you like to feel happy, okay? Because they're not always synonymous, believe it or not. They don't always go together. So, we have to work on that, right? Something I notice in society is we don't know. Yes, Nicole, good job. Good job. I don't know if I can do it too. Actually, I'm going to put my little thumbs up and my both, okay? Because I want that too. But they're not always synonymous, like I say. And what I notice in society is that we don't know how to handle conflict. I don't know. Is it just me in my circle of the world, my perspective? Is it just me when I see TV or when I see a movie or when I see even a book? Is it just me in my relationships, in my church, in my work? Is it just me who sees that conflict people don't know how to handle it? I don't think that it is. How do I get this comment thing off? Oh my gosh, that's so noisy. Oh, there we go. I got it. Because I think, for one, we always have to come back to both the definition of love and the definition of unconditional love. Those are really big. So the definition of grief is all the unsaid, it's the feelings that bubble up. When you have stuff that you don't say in the moments that you wish would be different. It's the feeling you get when you don't say the stuff in the moments you wish would be better. It's the feeling you get in the moments when you don't say something in the moments you wish would be more, or you can't. Okay, so there's reasons we don't say it. Maybe we can't, maybe it's not safe, maybe the person's no longer there, maybe they died, maybe we thought we had more time before they moved or whatever. Okay, so there's reasons, but the point is that's what grief is. It's also the feelings that bubble up when you have stuff that you don't say about the moments that don't quite meet your hopes or your expectations, okay? So it's the unsaid emotional stuff about those moments that just aren't quite what you thought they would be. That's the definition of grief. And then we need the definition of unconditional love, which is the willingness and acquiring the ability to allow me to make my own choices for myself without the need of approval from anyone else. And that could be really challenging because if I'm in conversation or if I'm talking, I'm in a moment and I am expecting that approval, I'm expecting people to say, yeah, good job. Oh yeah, I totally get what you mean. Or yeah, I completely agree. Or yeah, you're totally right. Or if I'm expecting them to agree in some way, if I'm expecting to feel approved of in this conversation and I don't get that, I'm going to experience grief, aren't I? And then I can get kind of frustrated and upset. Now, how about, I have to open my door because it's hot in here and I'm in a sweatshirt. So how about, though, when we're with someone and they're the speaker and they aren't saying things that we agree with? We don't like their choices. We don't like their behavior, their attitudes, their actions, their beliefs. We don't like it. We don't like what they're doing. And do we know how to still love them through disagreement? So loving other people unconditionally is the willingness and acquiring the ability to allow that other person the right to make their own choices without insisting that they satisfy me. So how is that going to apply in your life? Who do you have conversations with that are difficult? Who, because you don't feel heard, but maybe you don't know how to hear them because you want them to change it. You want them to do it a little differently. You don't like the way that their choices are panning out. Let me give you some scenarios. So let's say I have someone who, maybe I'm a parent and my child, well, I am a parent, but let's say my child has, let me know that they're bisexual or homosexual. Me as a parent, maybe I don't know how to accept that right away. Maybe that's different than just all the hopes and dreams and expectations that I had for my child. What I want you to hear, first of all, if that's your situation, is that you're not wrong and you're allowed to have those feelings. But perhaps you want to make sure that you respond in a way that still communicates love. It's not about agreeing or trying to fix or whatever. It's about, can I respond in a way that still shows love? Now, let's say I have a friend who, I don't know, is leaving their good paying job and I don't agree. I think they're going to, hurt their family, or how are you going to make money? Or, they're leaving their good 5 or 6 figure, I'm going to say 6 figure job to be an artist. And a lot of us would be like, and we would want to convince them and have them change their attitude or their actions, their ideas, right? But that's not going to communicate love, is it? It's going to communicate judgment. How about somebody who's going to college and, they're not into it. They're not doing good. And no, but you have to have this degree and we just want to fight with them to be right. That you have to do it this way. This is what I know to be safe. What if it isn't about you feeling safe? What if this is their individual journey and we need to love them through it, not insist that they satisfy us? What if it is my child's individual journey and it's not about them insisting that they satisfy me? It's about me loving them through their journey. Do I really know how to do that without giving all the little digs, let's say for me, for example, I did stop going to my church and that was not easy for a lot of people. Let's just say, I have some who insist that I'm wrong. I started my own church. I know it's going to be controversial right there. But let's just say that I, insisting that I satisfy them. Well, you got to do it this way because this is how I feel it's safe. This is what I believe. This is what I believe. I was actually doing that in different ways in my life and causing a lot of grief and chaos on my side and theirs. Now, who can change this though? If you're in a situation, you're in a relationship that you're not feeling heard, but you also don't know how to hear, what happens to the relationship? Whether it's a romantic one, a friendship one, a work one, it doesn't matter, a family one, there could be division, there could be heartache, there could be, I'm just not going to talk to that person, I'm going to cut them out of my life. I used to say that because I thought it was real. It isn't, by the way. You can't just cut people out of your life. You can choose to not have an interpersonal relationship with them anymore, but until you cut all the cords, meaning the emotional cords, through a grief recovery method class, by the way, they're always still connected to you, so you are going to need to do that if you have people in your life where you've cut them out of your life. This is not about keeping everyone in your life. Some people do need to be out, but it is about learning how to heal yourself in such a way that you're not still connected with them. But if there are those relationships that you do want to be connected with, you've got to put in the work and learn how to still love people through choices that aren't necessarily the ones you would have chosen for them. And then they need to learn how to love you through choices that aren't the ones aren't the choices that they would have chosen for you. Does this make sense? Am I rambling here? Oh my gosh, I didn't see there were all these things coming up. Pop, hi, everybody. Thank you. Ooh, that's a tough one to be around. Oh my goodness, thank you for joining, everybody. I apologize. So this says, sometimes I do not realize I have expectations until I feel the grief. That is absolutely so true. This happens more frequently with what others may view as small things. That is such a good point, Jackie. I often don't even know that I have an expectation or I have a hope until it doesn't happen. Until that moment comes where it doesn't happen and it feels like a pile of bricks on my heart and soul, and I'm like, oh shoot, I totally created this expectation. And so the expectation's not wrong, the hope isn't wrong, we're supposed to have hope. But if you find that your hope wasn't met and you feel that pile of bricks that just exploded off into your chest or your gut, oh, okay, there's grief there. We feel that physical sensation. That means there's grief, and so we use our grief recovery steps. So it's not wrong to create a hope or an expectation, but it can be painful, right? Especially if we didn't even express it, and especially if we didn't even know it ourselves to be able to express it. So that is such a good point. Such a good point. I use my grief recovery tools frequently because I create expectations and I arrive at the moment, I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't know it was going to go. It's not what I thought. And it hurts tremendously. And so I could beat the person over the head for not meeting my expectations or even asking me a question or whatever. And sometimes I will, let's be honest, I am human. I think about my husband. Dude, how did you not know? But I never did tell them. So I can cause my own problems a little bit. And then I have to do grief work. And hopefully I didn't blow it so hard that I've caused him to do grief work, but maybe I did. Proof that all grief can be healed from. Yes. And you're living proof of that. I would imagine both sides would be hard in that scenario. Yeah, totally. And so you go, girl. Agreed. Set boundaries. You're so on point today. Oh my gosh. Keep spreading. Well, thank you. Hi, Jackie. I agree. I love when y'all start talking to each other. Yes. So cool. You always hit the topic on the head for me. Are you in my brain? Girl, I love when that happens to me, but I think we're all really not as different as we think we are. We're just human. And I happen to work with humans. And I see that we're not as different as we think we are. We're all navigating similar situations, but in completely different ways. And we don't realize how similar they are. That's why it's like hard for me sometimes to come up with examples, because I'm like, which ones do I want to choose today? Because they're huge. They're everywhere. So there's like we call it agree to disagree. You know, we've heard that before. Has anybody ever heard that? We got to agree to disagree. That's true, but there's still some like a passive aggressiveness going on in there sometimes. I'm just going to tell you I don't agree with you. Well, that's fine. You can have your opinion. I don't have to agree with it. That's true. You don't have to, but to say it is also not going to be very effective. It's not going to be really helpful. There's still going to be that, they're not hearing me, because there's such specific ways to hear people. That's what I teach. I teach this all the time, and it helps parent-child relationships, friend relationships, romantic relationships, males, females, neutral. It doesn't matter. This is just about relationship, and it's really, really helpful. I love your humanness. It's so comforting. Thank you. There's plenty of that going on. Thank you so much for joining there, Golden Oak. Which, by the way, I'd love to come speak to your students sometime, or your staff. That would be fantastic. Let's see. No growth unless accepted exactly. Oh, right. So no one can grow. I have to write my notes or I forget myself. I get lost so excited. When we don't know how to love someone exactly where they are, basically step away from the idea that they have to please us, we're not really loving them. We're loving them with condition. And when we love them with condition, they can't really grow. People don't grow unless they're accepted exactly where they are. They need to be seen and loved and accepted exactly where they are. You know, as an ICU nurse, I can't be like, you've got an infection. I'm not seeing you in here. No, I need to meet them exactly where they are. Hi, Patty. Thanks for joining. I need to meet people exactly where they are, or I cannot help them level up. I can't help them grow if I demand that they step up to me and meet me where I am, where I feel more comfortable, where I think they should be. Kisses from Kentucky. I love you so much. we can't help each other grow. We can't grow unless we're loved and met where we are. And so it gets really, really difficult when we are expecting people to perform to our expectations or perform to the way that we feel safe. We're not loving them unconditionally. We're loving them conditionally, and that's not good. That's not going to really give deep relationship connection. We have to celebrate the human for the human they are right now versus the human we hope they'll be. Now think about that with your kids, your relationships, your friends, your coworkers. People can't grow unless we meet them where they are. Yes. So this work is about learning to accept yourself for who you are right now, because until you do that, you cannot level up. This work is about accepting other people where they are right now, because until you do that, they also cannot level up. So the hopes and dreams and expectations you have on your children, on your spouse, on your boyfriend, girlfriend, on your friend, on your job, until you accept it where it is right now, it cannot change. You might force a change, you might run, but then you'll have the same slew of problems to meet you and greet you when you get to the new spot. And so you've got to learn to meet the moments where they are right here. That's what Grief Recovery Method classes are going to do. I love to see new people here. Me too. Woo woo. Thank you for joining. What kind of thoughts, questions, and wonders do you have? I am available here. I am available on, what else? Email. My website and everything is on my page. You can text me, but I'm telling you, texting is dangerous because too many people get to doing that and I can't keep up and things get lost and I think, oh shoot, I'll respond as soon as I go to the restroom, and then I forget. Or I walk through a door and I forget. I try my best, but I'm not really good. Amen. Can't fix it, but can pray for them. Yeah, we certainly pray for them. But also we need to take action, because if we have a hope, dream, and expectation on someone else of what we think they should be, we need to work on ourselves in our own heart for the hope, dream, and expectation that I'm creating for someone else. But then, if, let's say they're addicted to drugs, obviously we want to see them step away from that eventually, right? And so, we could definitely pray for them, but we need to work on our own heart and the pain and stuff that we have going on in our own heart, as long as they're not meeting our hope, dream, or expectation that we have for them. That's still a self-reflecting job, so that we have to deal with our pain and our disappointment so that we can meet them where they are and not run. Because let's say, it's hard to watch someone repeatedly, especially if they're on drugs or something and you love them. It's hard to watch them on that path and on that journey, or just not show up and love their child perhaps, or not show up and love their partner perhaps. It's hard to watch that. So we deal with our grief in our heart about the situation, and then we pray like mad, because we can't actually change them. We can just send it out to the universe, the hope that the universe will intervene. So that's all we can actually do. But every time you have a hope, dream, and expectation for someone else's life, that's a sign that you have to do your own grief work for yourself, on yourself, to deal with the hope, dreams, and expectations that you have, and make sure they're not filled with too much energy, because then you are not capable of showing up fully for the person and meeting them where they are. Does that make sense? We're getting that? So how are we doing? Oh, that was good. I started early. I feel like I had more time. I'm going to start early next time too. All right, everybody. Let's see. What have I missed? I love to see the new people, you and me both. People can't grow unless we meet them where they are. Yes, that is so, so true. And my other favorite one, that's a problem in society right now. We're not celebrating humans for the humans they are right now. We're celebrating for the humans that we hope they will be. So we kind of have an agenda for people. And that's not, I always have these like crazy flyaway hairs. Whatever. I do touch light sockets apparently. I don't know. And that's a big twist. It's hard. It's difficult. So we do grief work constantly, and grief work is just it's kind of like who boils noodles in this world? Anybody else boil noodles, or just me? And when you put the noodles in, especially if you have the lid on and you keep the heat up too high, eventually it is overflowing the pot. The energy there was a pause. My alarm went off. The energy got too high. So we turn down the heat real quick so it can simmer down. Remember that? We do that all the time. So same for ourselves. Our energy starts to build up too high and overflow. Grief recovery helps it simmer back down. But it's like actually removing some of the water, removing some of the starch, removing some of the pasta versus, well, let me just go take my mind off of it for a little bit. No, it's physically working on the pot that was overflowing. So it won't overflow so easily next time. Does that make sense? We're pasta. We're pots of water. There it is. Well, everybody, I sure love you. I hope you found value in this. Grief work equals life work equals ultimate healing. That reminds me of a song, but I think that song's called Sexual Healing, so I will save you the singing. I always think of life in song. Everybody, I love the dialogue here. You and me both, Jackie. I just love to see you guys talk back and forth, interacting with me, with each other. Thank you. Thank you for your time. I have a spot on the roof here. I wonder what that is. It's very scary. So, thank you for being here. I love you so much. I'm so thankful for you. You're valuable. You're worthy. And if you find other people in your life who are valuable and worthy, please like, subscribe, and share to definitely my Instagram page, but also my YouTube videos, because we need to spread the word. Everybody, this is Rachelle Jones, Grief Recovery with Rachelle, and I will see you next Friday. Bye, everyone.